the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground.
Hey, welcome everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you're watching me from. Thank you for joining the live stream today. It's been a while. Man, we've been traveling around with friends and visitors and just having a good time over here in paradise. And that's what the name of the blog is today. Paradise is in the eyes of the beholder. But I always want to give a shout out to the NTZ crew. I see the Beach of Life on here. I'm pretty sure Jacob Tanje will be here later. Thank y'all for what y'all do for the channel, man, to keep it respectable, man, and keep the foolishness off of here, man. We don't need that. But the first thing I want to say, the exchange rate is 52.40, man. That's great. And a lot of times to get that, you have to go to the bank or to the ATM machine. There's two ways of really getting that. Otherwise, the next place would be the grocery store. I saw in Save More was pretty good. It's 51.9 is what they're giving. Because I went to Western Union in Moncton the other day. We were going to exchange some money, and the lady told us not to. She said, hell, it's too expensive. She said it's only 49.8. And then another place was only giving them 48.9. So I was like, wow. So that's something to think about, when you land. I always suggest when you land at the airport to go ahead, and get at least, $100. So you're going to lose about $7 or $8, maybe even $50 now. Especially if you've already got your hotel reservations booked. Because when you get in the taxi or the Grab, they don't take U.S. dollars. What's up, Brandon Bonner? What's going on? Larry Lindsay says I'll be here in August, man. Anytime's a good time to be here in the Philippines. I wanted to start out by saying that, paradise could be a state of mind, as well as a place. But it's all in the eyes of the beholder, man. If I tell you somebody's beautiful or something's beautiful, you can't come behind me and say it's not. In my eyes, it is. And it's the same thing with paradise. The Philippines has checked off all the boxes for me. And that's why I call it my paradise, physically and mentally. What you talking about checks off all the boxes? Number one, I'm welcome here. I'm genuinely welcome here. And that makes a big difference when you got friendly faces waiting for you. What's up, Daryl? Another thing is the low cost of living over here, man. It gives me a whole lot of freedom. What's paradise without freedom? And I tell you that right now, man, the physical beauty of this place. Did y'all see any of my vlogs from Bantayan Island and different places? Man, it's beautiful over here. It's a paradise. And every time I say that word, somebody will come up with a comparison, because that's what we do. It can be more than one paradise on earth. But they'll say, oh, it's not as nice as Thailand, or it's not as nice. I was over in Malaysia or Bali. Well, it can be more than one paradise. That's Booby. She's happy to see us back. The Beach of Life says, leaving Las Vegas tomorrow for Seattle. Vacation fun time is over. Back to the wheel for me until my first trip over to the Philippines this year. Man, look me up when you get here. I'll be back off my visa run. I want to give a shout out to JRC Consultancy. You know, I've gotten that referral off of a Filipino P video because I normally don't use those immigration services, but I didn't need them at the time, okay? Now that I'm in San Carlos City, your location over here will determine whether you need an immigration service or not, man. And they've been just unbelievably fast and, you know, good at what they do. I did my motion for reconsideration actually went through. They gave me 60 days to leave. And if you look on here, well, you can't see it. I don't know if you can see that. But right here, it says July 5th. And I've got to leave out of, when you did that motion for reconsideration, I've got to leave out of Manila for some reason. And I'll just go out and, you know, for at least 24 hours and come back and start it over again. But yeah, they've been really good. When I get back, I'm even going to use them when I do my renewal because time is money over here. And what's 200 or 300 pesos to let them stand in line basically for you? That's all they're doing. Because in some of these places like Cebu, Dumaguete, Manila, it's a whole day process. Now, when I was in, oh my God, they're working over here. I don't know what they're doing. Can y'all hear that? But when I was in Zamboanga City, I didn't need an immigration service because nobody's there. When you do your exit clearance, man, they do it just like that. As long as you have all the requirements. But see, someplace like Dumaguete, I don't think you can do it in Dumaguete. You got to go to Cebu or something. It's a whole day process. So I let them do it. And I'm real satisfied with them. JRC Consultancy. I'm going to let them do my exit clearance too. I don't know what they're grinding on, guys. I apologize for that. I didn't know they were going to do all of that. If you saw my video today, hell, I'm like, what the hell are you grinding, man? I don't know what they're doing over there. He's cutting. Oh, okay. I think he's cutting a piece of tile, so just be patient. That'll stop here in a minute. Hey, Jeffrey Tatter, what's going on, brother? Otis Allen says, hey, what's up, man? But yeah, paradise, man, could be a state of mind. It could be a place, you know, and then, of course, if they're not comparing it, they'll say something like, oh, the Philippines is a dump. Well, how do you consider that? Just because there's poverty here, there's a ghetto everywhere. I promise you that. There's poverty everywhere. And you can ignore it if you want to. I don't care where you are. There's poverty somewhere close by. So you can't say that a place is not paradise because it has poverty. But what I do with poverty, and I did a video a long time ago, I need to do another one, is I acknowledge it. I don't try to ignore it because you can ignore it over here. You can go to one of them fancy resorts in Mactan or one of those places and just stay on the resort your whole time. You won't ever see it. But I acknowledge it. I acknowledge my place in it. You know, I can't fix it. I'm not the solution. I can have some compassion. And, you know, I help where I am when I can, you know. And that's the way I look at it. But I don't ignore the poverty. It's poverty in Louisville, Kentucky, where I'm from. I've been to places. I'm an insurance agent, man. I've traveled all around the state. I've been to Eastern Kentucky and Appalachia. It's poverty, man. It looks like in the Philippines, believe it or not. I've been to places like Shepherdsville, Kentucky. I've been to West Louisville. You know, there's poverty everywhere, but that doesn't mean that it's not paradise. What's up, Fred? He's our resident OG. Hold on, guys. I got to see what he's doing. I'm going to tell him to do something else right now. Hold on. Hey, hi. Just for a little while. I'm like, my God. He's got to try something else. Like, wow. Hey, Yusuf, what's going on, brother? I'm glad to see some of my regulars back on here. W Secrets to Success Vlog. I'm going to have you on my next panel, by the way. Yeah, but the Philippines checks off all my boxes, man, and it's safe over here. You know, you can't have paradise without it being safe. You're able to rip and run around anywhere you want to go without worrying about getting robbed or shot or anything like that. And that's always a good thing, man. But yes, it's been my paradise, man. It's freed me up. It's taken that weight of the world off my shoulders, man. I'm able to fly over here, man. I'm able to do some things over here I've never been able to do. My creativity is pretty good. I'm truly retired over here. I can say that. And, you know, it doesn't hurt to, to have a woman over here to add to your pleasure, man, your happiness, because that's all she's doing. I'm responsible for my own happiness, but yeah, you can be in paradise when she's taking care of you the way that they do over here. He said now he's going to bang stuff. Ed from Queens said, good to see you. Oh, man, I tell you what, Marilyn showed me an article last night, and this old Omicron variant is revving up over here, man. And I don't like it because this place is shut down in a minute, man. I hate to be caught out there. So I'm going to do my visa run. I've got to get my son's, I'm meeting him in Cebu, June the 9th. We're going to get his passport renewed. And then I'm flying out as soon as I can and coming on back because I don't want to get locked out of here, man. Hey, Timothy Hennigan, peace to you back, brother. He says, okay, Calvin, who got you focused on this paradise are not questions. Nobody. It's just every time, most of the time I get a lot of my content from my comments, from my messages. And some guy says, I was overhyping the Philippines. He says that it's not as nice as I make it out to be. And I said, well, speak for yourself, because paradise is in the eyes of the beholder. It's not just me, man. There's so many guys who come over here and find their paradise, whether it's mentally or physically. But to me, it's both. I mean, the physical beauty of the Philippines, man, is, it's unmatched, really. We're all on one earth. I mean, there's no sense in comparing. I can go from another paradise. I can leave from one paradise and go to another. But remember, if I'm unhappy wherever I am, I'm going to be unhappy wherever I go. So, it starts and ends with me. There's nothing outside of me. But yeah, this is paradise to me. Oh, hey, Daryl Fulmore, he says, wife is working now, so being Mr. Mom takes away viewing time, either supporting son's football or helping homework. The wheel is busy. Well, I'm glad for you, man. I know that process has been a long one, and I know she's happy. It's just one of them things we always talked about, Daryl. Your wife likes to help her family, like a lot of Filipinos do. And if you get with a Filipino who agrees with you that you're not going to help her family, man, you need to throw her back in, because Filipinos are going to help their family with your encouragement or without. And she'll do it behind your back if you don't like it. Yeah, Paul Colbert said one man's paradise is another man's hell. Yeah, but you gotta find the paradise up here first before you could ever find it. And if you can't find it up here, it's nowhere. Really, hell's gonna be wherever you go. If you got a hell attitude, Marlon No says Cal would be there now if not for restrictions. What do you mean you're not vaccinated? Anthony Williams said those guys that can't find paradise probably aren't able to put it down anyways, man. Yeah, they're not able. If you can't find paradise in the Philippines, you can't find it anywhere. See, people don't understand. I'm in the Philippines, but I'm not of the Philippines. America's a paradise to some people. The place that I ran from. It's all about change, really. And I'll go back to Dorothea Brand's book, man. If you don't have the book, man, if you never read it, it's called Wake Up and Live, man. We got to get out of that routine. That destroys us. Everybody gets in a routine. She says get out of that. But when I come to a place like the Philippines, it's become my paradise. And people are like, well, what about all the hell around you? Well, I acknowledge that. I've got compassion for that. And I've acknowledged my place in that. I can't solve it. I wasn't the creator of that hell, and I can't solve it, but I can do what I can when I can. So that's where that comes from. Some guys, I was talking to a guy today. He's getting ready to pull the trigger. He's ready to go back. I don't think that this is his paradise. He wasn't able to find it here. But hopefully he can find it somewhere else. Because who wants to live in hell your whole damn life? Because heaven and hell, I was told, is a state of mind anyway. It's not a physical place, but some people believe it is. I think it's like paradise. I think it's mentally too. They use words like blissful and bliss to describe paradise. Well, hell, that's a mental state. Terry Allen said, you do more than most, at least you try. Yeah. And see, just because, Terry, that's a great point, that I'm surrounded by so much hell, it's no excuse for me to throw my hands up and say, oh, well, it's more than I can handle. There's nothing I can do. Yeah, I can change one person's life in hell, man. If you can rescue one person in hell, that's why this electronic community pantry that I do every Wednesday is so important. Some guy said, oh, 1,200 pesos worth of groceries, because he's using this exchange rate, which will drive you crazy, by the way, over here. He's saying, oh, that's only about $25 worth of groceries. That's nothing. Okay, when somebody's starving, that's a big difference, man. To some people, it's a bridge. And that's all I'm trying to do is be a bridge, Cherry, just to get them to the next hour, really, or the next day. He said, why didn't he like it here? I don't know. You have to ask him, but we had a conversation today. We were just walking around, and it's like he's given up, and he's ready to go. He had initial plans to stay 3 months, but I think he's going to use his return ticket and leave in a few days. Because like I said, if you don't have paradise in here, you're never going to find it anywhere else. And maybe he's got other problems that, it's none of my business. He didn't want to discuss. But I was like, man, he's basically been since April 28th is in San Carlos City. I said, well, hell, you haven't even given it a chance. But he could be homesick. You never can tell what the situation is, but I know he's getting ready to pull that trigger. He's headed back. And that's a long way over here, guys. It ain't for everybody. I did that video. But for most of us, man, who has an inkling of what paradise looks like or feels like, man, this is it over here for me. Hey, Sam McCall, it's my buddy up in Cavite, man. He flew all the way from Cavite to Bacolod, then caught a bus to San Carlos City to attend my meet and greet. I got to put you in my Hall of Fame for that, brother. And believe it or not, guys, this guy is fluent in Tagalog. So he's my hero with that. He said, morning, brother Cal. Hear it. That's Marina's Cavite immigration for my extension. Walang daming, well, see, that's Tagalog. I don't know. But he says, not much people here. But you made it good. And remember, you're outside of Manila. So you wouldn't need a service to do you. Go to Manila and do an extension, Sam. Boy, believe it or not, man, I can't remember how many hours, but it's the longest. Me and my wife went there one time to do my renewal because we were in Manila already. And it's a whole day process. You go in there, immigration is so big and people everywhere, so many different lines, and you got to deal with. They said, we'll just leave it here. And excuse me, we went to Starbucks. Then we took a damn horse and carriage ride. We did all kinds of stuff. It was about 6 or 8 hours later, I came back and got it. Hey, Richard. He said, enjoy your videos. Keep telling the truth, Cal. That's the only way I know how to do it, Richard. Thank you for your support. W Secrets to Success Vlog said, what was he looking for there? Let me guess, a woman. It didn't work out for him. No, actually, he doesn't have a woman here. And I suggested to him, I said, well, maybe that's what you need. Not to make her your priority, but it just simplifies things over here, man. You're in the Philippines, man. You got to simplify stuff over here. And she can help you navigate through a lot of stuff that you're not going to be able to navigate on your own. And, she adds to your happiness, man. Let's not be... Don't sugarcoat it now. These young, beautiful women over here, man, if you're not in paradise, man, they can be the transportation. Believe it or not. But yeah, that's one of the things I suggested to him. But remember, we're grown men. But I was just kind of shocked that that's what he wanted to talk to me about today. But he really hasn't given it a chance. Yeah, it is a sad story. John Gomez said, for me, paradise is no bills and peace of mind, less stress, the better. Yeah, it's a state of mind, too, as well as a place. When I'm sitting down, man, and, Maryland's doing her thing, man, I'm going to tell you something. I'm in paradise, man. Or if I'm walking along the beach in Bantayan Island, Boracay, one of those places, it's a paradise. I don't have to work over here, man. I get up when I want to. You don't work in paradise unless you got some type of garden or something. I love LaChine. I was so sad the day I had to go back home. Totally opposite. Yeah. I don't know of anybody who really comes over here and has just anything that resembles a good time that doesn't go home sad, man. That 3 or 4 hour wait in the airport, it's just terrible, man. Once I get on the plane and it takes off and reality kicks in, I'm going home, I'm better. But all the way up until that plane takes off, man, you see other people coming in, they're happy. They're excited. You know what lies ahead for them, and then you're on your way home. It's crazy, man. You know what you're leaving behind, and then you know what you're returning to. Brasilero Shelton said, "You did say that's not for everybody. It's not, but there is a paradise on this earth for everybody. You just gotta find it. I found mine over here." Albert Young says, "Calvin, did you get a lot of flack from your family going to the Philippines? And so how did you handle it?" I did. Because they think you're crazy. They had never even mentioned the Philippines out of their mouth, Albert, until I started coming over here. But I did a video on it. It's called, when you come to the Philippines, you're going to be attended by your friends and family back home. A lot of guys, I tell them, just be straight up with them, let them know where you're going, and go ahead and take the flight. Because all they hear about is how dangerous it is over here, all the poverty. Are you going over there to take advantage of women? They have no clue of what the Philippines is really like. That's one of the reasons I made my channel. I want people to really understand it's not all that you hear about over there in the West. But absolutely, I took flack, and it's not too many guys that I don't know who come over here, Albert, that don't catch flack. Now, if I was going to Paris, they would send me off with a 50 million dancers and a big old band and asking for souvenirs when I get back. Take some pictures of the Eiffel Tower for me. But when I came over here, man, crazy. It's like, what are you doing over there? Now, a lot of my friends, of course, they're asking me, they're coming over. They want to come over. They're asking me what I do to get over here because they see the lifestyle that I'm living over here. This is even before Sunshine Shoulders. Remember, I've been here for, almost 40 months. And Sunshine Shoulders is only about 20 months, about half of that. But they were seeing how happy I was before. But yeah, Albert, you're going to get that, man. So just get ready for it. And that's just how it is, man. But Derek Greenway said that Albert Young, I don't care what my family says. They can see me. That's what I told my kids. But see, here's the thing with me, Derek, and you make a good point with that. I can piggyback off that. When I'm at home, they never come to my house. They never call me. Anytime I see them, maybe on 4th of July, the Derby, Christmas, or something like that, Thanksgiving. Other than that, it's crickets. But the minute I decide to do something different, to do something they're afraid to do, now all of a sudden, I'm taking advantage of women over here. I mean, that's all they know about the Philippines. Really, is Manila, poverty, and bar girls. That's really all they know. Billy says, sorry, I mean living alone versus with a girlfriend in Cebu. What's cheaper? Maybe a blog for pros and cons. I kind of touched on that the other day. See, a lot of guys, Sydney I was talking to, he says, well, a lot of guys want their woman, but he didn't say that. He said they want their pussy right next to them. Easy access. I'm like, look, man, it don't work like that over here. If you pick up the phone and call the Filipino, if that's what you want, if she loves you and, she knows you a couple, she's going to be there. I mean, but the cost of living allows you to have your own place and hers at the same time. Get her out of the squatters area, rescue her out of, whatever the streets or whatever, just unbearable circumstances that she's living in, because most of them are. I would say it's cheaper. Either way it goes to live with her, because now you only got 2 rent versus 1, but is it all about the money? See, you could give her an upgrade, Billy, with $100 per month place. You pay 5,000 pesos per month, and you can give her an upgrade. See, she doesn't need hot and cold water. She doesn't need air conditioning. Okay? She needs a fan, you know. She doesn't really need a bed, man. If you see on my video today, you see what her brother was sleeping on out there? They sleep on like a mat. You could do all of that, man. You could get her set up for about 10,000 pesos and be done with it. You know, you could live right on the same street, you know, not in the, you know, not far from each other. But at the end of the day, if I could do it all over again, which obviously I can't, I'd have my own place, man. And I'm gonna spend a lot of time when there's no one staying in the guest house. I'm gonna be there. MJ being a P2B said, "Hey Calvin, how has your move there impacted your family or relatives? Have family ever disowned you?" No, they see me now and they see that I'm happy, and so they don't really communicate with me though. But they never did. When my mother died, MJB and the P2B, our family kind of splintered. She was the matriarch. She was what kept it all together. And then when she died, everybody went their own way, and it kind of made it back. But it's not like it used to be. People loved my family because of our closeness when my mother was alive. We've never had a lot of money. You know, I grew up poor in the American definition of poor in America. But we did have a lot of love and togetherness. Oh, okay, Robert Sanford said, "What's up, Uncle Cal? We'll talk to you later after you're live. I've been busy, fam." Javon Pitt said, "Man, you look so young since you've been getting that Filipino P." Yeah, it does, man. It takes a lot of pressure off of you over here. The things that I was stressing about in my country, I don't stress about over here. The bills, you know, the money, the P, and all the other stuff, you know, the harassment, you know, just all the skepticism and arguing. We'll argue about anything over there. I just don't have that over here. I've got some peace and serenity. I'm in paradise, man, really. You know, we were walking today and, you know, I was telling him, you know, a place like San Carlos City is where I need to be right now at this stage of my life, you know, because I've slowed all the way down. I don't go out anymore. You know, I don't party or anything like that. And it's a place where people know me. And he said, well, that could be a good or bad thing. I said, but really, it's a good thing. Even though Filipinos know you, they're going to leave you alone. But when they see me, they know I'm not a threat. They know I'm not going to break in their house. They know I'm not going to, you know, try to fool with their wife or anything like that. That's what I mean by that. And the minute I said that, the next 10 or 12 people we passed, they all knew who I was. But outside of San Carlos, nobody knows me. Tori Mackey said, "What's up, Cal? How's your Tagalog learning going? Get the lights up." Well, I'm learning Bisaya. It gets a little bit better every day. I'm getting to the point where I can pick up some stuff when I hear them talking with each other, because it's going to drive you crazy when you get over here, okay? Now, you know your girlfriend can speak English. Okay, the woman that's with your friend can speak English, but when you're at the restaurant, they're going to be speaking their language. And that's because they're talking about you. They're talking about us. They're saying some stuff they don't want us to know. And but remember, they're in their home country. They can do that. But I just want to let you know that's the reason they do it. They're saying stuff they don't want you to hear. Oh, absolutely. He says, "Are any schools that formally teach Tagalog or Visayan to foreigners?" You can hard tutor over here. It wouldn't cost you a whole lot. Probably about 2,000 pesos per month, believe it or not. Anthony Williams said, "Paradise to me is like screwing like minks, sucking good coochie, relaxing and living like I've got my own kingdom." Yeah, that's the physical part of it too. But there's a mental part of it too. You can have all of that and still be unhappy over here. Vernon Joseph said, Calvin, have you tried to coordinate a travel group to the Philippines, a group from the USA to hang out with for about 7 days? What do you think? That's too much work, man. I'd rather just be a welcoming committee, Vernon, once you get here. And that's what I told the guy this morning. I said, look, man, are you running out of money? Do you need something to eat? You know, if you do, you know, hit me up. I'd rather be a welcoming committee. John, I'm going to use one of John's words. He said, doing something like this is like trying to herd cats. It's just too much going on. I just wait till you get here, and then we can hook up that way. Like the brothers that we went on the party boat, the catamaran is what people said it was. They call it a yacht over here. But yeah, we just hooked up. I've been hanging out with a bunch of guys since the Philippines opened up. And I had to tell them, see, they take it for granted. But I said, man, do you realize how fortunate y'all are to be over here and have somebody to hang out with? I mean, I came over here for years and years and had nobody to hang out with, man, at all. And, that's another reason why I created this community. We need that over here, man. Because once you get with your girlfriend and everything settles down, you're not going to have the type of conversations we be having over here. They really, man, did so much for me. You can't put a price on it, man. We be talking about all kinds of stuff that I hadn't talked about in 40 months. Hey, Ed from Queens, thanks for that super chat. He said the American Filipino keeps making videos on you and other expats. I asked him how many Filipinos in the USA overstayed their visa. How many paid Americans to marry for papers? I don't know who you're talking about, Ed. That American Filipino keeps making videos on you and other expats. I asked him how many Filipinos in the USA overstayed their visa. How many paid Americans to marry for papers? Yeah, that's a good question. A lot overstayed a visa, and that's the reason why. Here's his question right here. That's the reason why a lot of countries are hard on giving visas to the Philippines, because a lot of times they'll go over there on a B1, a B2, or what's the one where you work, and they'll just stay. They won't come back. I mean, so many. See, people got on Trump. They thought, oh, well, he's, reversing everything Obama did. No, Trump was looking at the record. If you look at the record, you'll see that a lot, not just Filipinos, but a lot of foreigners who come into the country illegally, they overstay. They don't go back. And so he was canceling certain type of visas. But it's really a two-way street, man. It's really all about change. Some people, I heard a guy, he said, well, on my video that I said, there's some things I won't give up in the Philippines to move back to America. He said, well, I work with a lot of Filipinos who said they'll never go back to the Philippines. And I said, that's okay. It's all about change, man. That's all it is. That's all. They've lived over here their whole lives. They want something different. It's just the same as me. I've been living in America my whole life. I want something different. Who says you have to stay in one spot your whole life? I mean, that's crazy. Just to prove that you're a patriot? Come on now, you're a damn fool to do that when there's so much out here to see. The woman that you want to marry, the job opportunity, the business, just the life that you've been dreaming about is probably not 20 minutes from where you live, which is what most of us do. We spend majority of our life somewhere about 20 minutes away from where we grew up. What kind of crazy stuff is that? God I Am said, Coach used to tell us don't sleep too close to the hole. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. But some guys like that, I don't know if it's about control, but when you're dealing with a whole different culture, guys, you gotta make some sacrifices. And I'm telling you, man, that's one that you would love that you made when you get over here, because I got some guys, man, that I know personally. They're unhappy, man. First of all, they're henpecked when they shouldn't be. You just met the woman, you know, and because once you move them in, you're not going to get them out of there. It's going to take a court order to get them out. But they can't go anywhere. They can't do anything. They don't really know if this is the woman for them or not. She's made that decision. I'm the one for you. You don't want to come over here. Listen to this, man. You don't hear nothing else I ever say on any of my videos ever. Don't come here and recreate the old fucked up life in America or wherever your home country that you're trying to get away from. Why would you come over here and do the same things or allow the same things to happen to you over here that happened there? Your paradise is going to turn into hell real quick. You got to start having some testicular fortitude. Just say no sometimes. Just say, no, it's okay. You know, I'm not ready for a serious relationship. You know, or we can still, you know, hang out. We don't have to live together. You know, you need a break, man, sometimes. You need some alone time. See, luckily for me, I set that down early. I can leave now and go down to Zamboanga if I want to, Cebu, anywhere I want to. Marlon doesn't care about that because I let her know you can't hold me down. If you try, then it's like a spring. The more you hold me down, when you finally let me go, I'm going to be flying somewhere else, you know. Hey, California, Oscar, what's going on? So you got a chance to use your girlfriend's phone today, I see. Hey, Calvin, how's it going? What's up? Leo says, hello, how's things going for you? Hey, thanks, Leo, for letting Oscar use your phone today, because he told me the other day, he said, Calvin, it usually takes 2 days for you to answer my messages. And I said, man, that's because your woman only lets you use the phone every other day. Don't blame it on me. Yeah, but it's true, Terry. If you're a wimp over there, I did a video. You automatically, when you get off the plane, trust me, okay, you can revert back to being a loser, but the Philippines makes winners out of losers. And winners into legends, man, believe it or not. But we'll come over here and we'll revert back to that. And start making the same mistakes that we made over there. We make them over here. One is not standing up for yourself, not telling people what's really on your mind. If you hurt somebody's feelings, they're going to get over it. That's what my mother told me. Eventually, they'll get over it, and they're going to understand. You know, if it's really love, it can come back together. But it's not love. She don't love you already, you know. But she loves that upgrading lifestyle. That's what she loves. But she don't love you. That's a fact. He says, MJB and M2B says, nothing but mass shootings here anymore, Calvin. Don't waste your time or attention on the news in the U.S. Really petty and pathetic. Yeah, man. I mean, it's really sad. And, of course, that's going to start more arguing. And, I mean, it's divided as it is. It's always been divided. But now it's just coming to the forefront. People have come out of the woodwork now. And I heard somebody say the other day, they said, well, when are they going to make an anti-black law? You know, it's like they did an anti-Asian law and all of that. I'm like, well, hell, if they ain't did it for 400 years, they're not going to do it now. But we need one, man. When people start hunting you down for the color of your skin, man, it's a problem, man. And I don't care what nobody say. You can change the channel if you want, man. I don't look at the news over there. That's why I told you I stay, my stress is a whole lot less because I don't. Because there's nothing good coming out of that. I have to agree with a guy who made a comment. He said, Calvin, I don't even watch live sports anymore. He said it's too stressful. I'll wait until it's over with and watch the highlights. And it's really true, man. You know, people, when we're arguing and fighting over that. He says, to see my YouTube family in the Philippines, brothers laughing and drinking together would be awesome. Yeah, man. It is. because I saw it all the time. I'd see Europeans hanging out, 2 or 3 of them, man. They laughing, joking, having a good time. And here I am with just me and my girl. Which there's nothing wrong with that, but you yearn for that conversation back home sometimes. Just talking about stuff that only we can talk about as men, and laugh and everything. Philip Jones says, you fly somewhere else, she keeps your house. Well, that's okay. I tell guys all the time, I didn't build the house. See, my man, I have a totally different outlook on life than I did before I came here. I didn't build that house for it to be mine, for me to have a bunch of stuff. So I suggest to guys, don't invest any more than you can't walk away from. See, I put 30 grand into this around here in 20 months. I can walk away from that if push comes to shove. It's not going to bankrupt me because it's not about money. It's not about a house. I would have rented, believe it or not. But when Booby was born, it changed the whole equation. I built the house really for Booby. And then as a gift to Maryland, because, look, man, if you got any kind of compassion, which I was brought up in a family of compassion, and you get with a Filipina and you start having feelings for each other, and you know her story, because that's what I want you guys to do. Don't just come over here marrying people. Get to know her story, know her background, and you're going to see that the $20,000 is nothing, to give her a new outlook on life, man. Maryland's had it rough, man, from day one. And just to reward her for being a good mother to my daughter, just a good friend, a good companion, 20,000 is nothing to me. It's the way I look at it. What is that in America? Yeah, actually I have King of Clowns. But that could be a good thing. That's good eating. It's good living. And I'm going to get right back. Let's see. When did we get back? Yesterday. We ate out yesterday, and I drew a line in the sand. I said, this is it. I'm not eating out anymore. So when you guys come here and want to visit me, we're eating here. We're not eating at Malwani. I'm going to send you over there and say, hey, this is what you need to order, this, and that. But I'm not going with you. I'll see you when you get back. But yeah, you're right, man. I mean, can you imagine eating 3 meals a day out every single day? It's almost like on clockwork. It's like anything you want to eat. Money's no object. And it's crazy, man. It's something that I'm not used to doing. And it's not good for me at my age. What's up? What's his name? Was that Soy? Yeah. What's up? Good morning. Golden Gate said, Calvin, it's end of days in the United States. Now we have 18-year-old Timothy McVeigh's or Dynamite Bob in Alabama. You made the correct decision to relocate to the Philippines. I don't know where it's going over there, man. But, here's the thing. We keep electing the same fools in the office, so we know it's not going to change, and when you don't do nothing, eventually the violence is going to touch your front door, man. It's already touched mine. I had a brother who was murdered for nothing. It doesn't matter who's doing the killing. Whether he's black, white, you're dead. Dead is dead. And when you're dying for nothing like that, I mean, something's got to change, man. I mean, we're just dying for nothing in America. We're not at war, but we're dying like that. You imagine somebody going to the grocery store. I mean, he's shooting 65 and 70-year-old people to death. That's crazy, man, when you think about it. Yeah, I did make the right decision when I came over here. I knew it in 2018 that I made the right decision. Brasilero Shelton said 20,000 ain't jack here in the state. It's not. It's really not, man. He said, Calvin, you wouldn't go clubbing with us? I mean, I would if it was just all the guys. You know what I'm saying? It's different. I'm talking about when everybody around you was drunk like that, though. You know, it just kind of took me out of the mood because I was in a good mood. But, you know, all that screaming and hollering and, you know, they're on a different frequency than I was on, man. And I've never been a party pooper. So I just went up on the second deck, man, with my book and just chilled out, man. I was just good to be able to get out there on that water. I love the water and sail around and, you know, without a care in the world. Cosboy says, yeah, like Calvin says, do not let them meet you at the airport starting out in lockdown. Yeah, you're not going to get rid of them, man. A lot of us, we don't really understand what's going on over here. We don't know a whole lot about the Philippines, so we bring our thinking over here because that's all we got, okay? But you're not at home anymore. The dating situation and all of that is different over here. The stakes are so high, man, that you don't realize it. If you make a commitment online to meet a woman at the airport and all of that, then you're stuck with her, man, for the most part. You know, and the only thing that saves a lot of us is we're stuck in a good situation. That's the only thing that saves you. But what about the small percentage of guys who don't get in that right situation? But even the best of situations, I don't want to be locked down. Terry Allen said, my kids are all born in Australia. I brought them back to the U.S. to meet my side of the family, but took them back to Oz for safety. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I mean, you can't. We're so entitled over there. And that's part of the problem. You know, we think that the world owes us something. And I'm going to tell you, man, that can cause a lot of problems. You know, I mean, the biggest problem is, see, with me, I can't ride under the radar over in America. They're always watching my every move. But there's a segment of the population over there that can slide under the radar. No one's watching them. So they can pile up weapons and, you know, they can do this. Guy drove 200 miles. You're going to tell me there's no way I could do that. The minute I buy one bullet, they're going to know it. This guy drove 200 miles, man, and hunted these people down like they were dogs and killed them. And the one man that did try to shoot back, hell, he wasn't armed enough, and he eventually got killed. Joseph Segelki, hopefully all the COVID restrictions and rules are gone by November. Looking forward to my first visit. Yeah, that's some wishful thinking, Joseph, and I'm glad to see you back on here. It's been a while, man. I saw you on another channel the other day. I saw a comment. Or maybe it was a live stream. I can't remember. And I said, well, damn, what happened to Joseph? I'm glad you're back, man. But yeah, that's some wishful thinking. If anything, they'll shut this place down before they'll stop requiring vaccines. It'll shut down first. Vernon Joseph said, Calvin, where are you and when is the best of the year to meet up with you? I'm in Negros Occidental. I'm on the same island I'm on Negros Island, same island as Dumaguete. I'm about 4 hours north of Dumaguete. And I'm actually about an hour and a half from the island of Cebu. And then another 3 hours from Iloilo. So yeah, but any time of the year, man, you know, I'm in paradise, Vernon. I don't have a schedule. Anthony Williams says, I wonder why they didn't shoot the shooter. I have no idea. that blows my mind. I don't get it with that either. But hey, Lynn, San Diego 102 said, hey, Calvin, hi, everybody. John Gomez says, can you believe I can carry in the DR, but cannot where I live? You know, I'm even thinking about, see, over here in the Philippines, I don't need a gun. That's part of paradise because I wouldn't live anywhere if I thought, you know, except at home, where I thought I needed a gun. Because if and when I go back to the United States, I'm going to have to practice my Second Amendment rights because I'm not going to be a victim. If somebody comes shooting, man, I'm going to be shooting back. That's just the way it is, man. I'm sorry. I'm going to do it. I've never owned a gun, man. I never thought it was. I just wasn't raised in a house where there were guns. My brothers, man, they were gangsters, man, but they didn't have guns. You know, they were more like hustlers and stuff like that, but they didn't have guns. My mother didn't allow it. Now, when my father was living, him and my mother separated. They never got a divorce. When I was 6 years old, I was told that he had a rifle, like one of them old double barrel shotguns or something, because my father carried a gun as long as I can remember. When I got older and knew what was going on, when I stayed with him in Cincinnati, he had a 38, and he would use it. But I just never grew up in a house. But now I'm rethinking that. Like, I need a gun over there. Hey, Timothy said, Calvin, this guy put out 3 or 4 videos on you in the past 10 days or so. Mike's Philippine Journey, Sunshine Show is talking about being uninfluenced and following the law in the Philippines. Yeah, well, see, I've got a trick for him and others. I'm talking to some lawyers now. We're gonna put some copyright out, and these guys using my name and my images and my material without my permission. But yeah, I don't care what they do, man. They're a bunch of losers as far as I'm concerned. You know, they're trying to. The first video I ever make about them, the next video I ever make about them will be the first. I don't care what they're doing over here. Why should they care about me? Hey, Ed from Queens, thanks for that super chat. He said, everyone in Tennessee gets along. Everyone carries a gun. Yeah, see, I'm going to have to do that eventually. David S. said, Calvin, how's your progress with learning the language? Gamai long. You know, that means just a little. This is going to be a major undertaking for a 58-year-old. I'll be 59 in about 9 days. It's not going to be something that's going to happen overnight. I gave myself a year's time because it's going to be a major undertaking. Yeah, he had body armor on. See, that's premeditated. But see, they'll give him the death penalty and they'll eventually kill him. But what good does that do to the people who got gunned down? Hey, Curtis Eugene Thomas said, hey, Calvin, I need to build me a small house like your guest house. It looks good, $5,000, great deal. Give me information on the crew. Well, he's here right now. But, you got to live somewhere around here. He's not going to travel, to Manila to build your house. Yusuf Ahmad Beef says, was the cost of the yacht split between the guys just killed? No, there's a guy that's over here now, and money's no object to him. It's good to have friends like that with money, because I don't have many friends like that in the United States, not in Louisville, Kentucky, where money is no object. And we would have gladly went in. As a matter of fact, the other gentleman, he agreed to pay, bought the food. They never asked me, but when we got back, the night before, I bought dinner, and I always do a lot of the tipping and different things like that. But no, he didn't want it. He just wants the company, And here's a guy who's saved well, he's invested well, he's lived well, and he says, $1,000 to him is nothing. like it is to me. Oh, absolutely. He said, Calvin, last question, can a foreigner own a condo? Yeah, you can own a condo. You can own a house here. You just won't own the land. You can actually lease the land. And I think it's for 50 years, 25 years, and then renew it again. King of Clowns said you would be better to ignore trolls and getting legally involved. Well, see, it's easy for people to say because you're not being attacked. So, no, I just want to do some things to let them know there's consequences. See, if I was in America, they wouldn't do that because I could easily just pick up the phone and get them taken care of. Okay, I wouldn't even have to get a lawyer. But no, it's easy for you to say that. You're not being attacked, man. I'm not used to that, believe it or not. But I'm going to tell you what my mother said all the time. See, success is the greatest revenge. See? Okay? Amos Doctor, Dr. Amos. He says, my man, hold it down. Your content is real, but realize colonization is worldwide and it has creeped in the Philippines. People riding on your dick. Peace. I'm from Bronx and now live in Cebu. Hey, welcome to the Philippines, man. I know you're having a good time. Oh yeah, he says that RV says start of the rainy season per Pag Asa. Yeah, it's almost here. You get more rain in certain parts of the Philippines than you do in others. So here we don't get a whole lot of rain during the rainy season. Sometimes it'd be so hot, I'd be like to Maryland. I thought it's supposed to be rainy season, especially, excuse me, man, pre-pandemic. My God, 2019, we didn't get no rain over here, man. And every other day I'd ask, I said, I thought this was supposed to be the rainy season. Texas is always on here, huh? But we need that rain here, of course. The farmers do, and it cools it down. You're going to be begging for rain, but it just depends on where you live because, with they got a lot of stuff going on here, man, that it causes floods in certain areas and where the trees and stuff would be a protection from all that water. There's no more trees. I remember, and let me see, I could be wrong, but look it up. I'm almost sure it was, let's see, I want to say 2012. There was a flood here in Iligan, and it might be 2013. More than likely, it was 2012. There was a flood in Iligan and Cagayan de Oro, man. It killed so many people, man. I'm talking about with so many bodies, they were stacked on the street. So whenever you come to the Philippines, you need to know what the weather patterns is in the area because the Philippines is diverse. Everything's not the same. Some areas get more typhoons than others. Some get flooded more, landslides, earthquakes. Just know what you're doing when you're going. RV says here in Metro Manila, sunny in the morning, rainy in the afternoon. And a lot of times it'll rain at night. He says, you have a sharp memory, Cal. Yeah, since I quit drinking, man, I tell you, Lynn. But yeah, I remember that. And it was so sad because I remember visiting Cagayan de Oro right after that. And I mean, it was thousands. It was like 1,500 people that died in Cagayan de Oro. And I was telling the lady that I went to see, I said, don't you know if something like this happened in America, they would build some type of monument. I mean, but in the Philippines, it's like, they grieve and then they get on with their life. I mean, it would have been such a major event in America. 1,500 people would have died at once. Yeah, Bushter, that little tiny house is what I call it now that I built for my subscribers. It's almost done. It will be done. It should be done by the end of this week. So let's see, today is Thursday, all day Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It should be done because Saturday is the last day for the crew anyhow. And then all it's going to be after that is put in the toilet, put in the sink. The windows are going to get put in tomorrow. We ordered them, so they're coming tomorrow to install that. And then that's really it. Just furnish it. And then I'm going to open the doors. And I'm not worrying about creeps coming in here, guys. I don't attract those type of people. Okay? And remember, I've got phase 3 for them. If they do. I mean, we don't ask for trouble. If somebody just intentionally, comes over here and commits a premeditated act of foolishness over here, they're going to pay for it. Pierre Parfait, the damn Calvin, I'm married to a Filipino, was moving to the Philippines on our 5 acres. My mom just passed away. Now the whole estate is in probate court up to a year to settle. I hate the government. Man, my condolences to you, man, on the loss of your mother. I lost my mother, man, in 1993, and I tell you what, I still miss her, man. It's a hole that'll never be filled. Yeah, that probate. So what? She didn't have did she have a will? Is that the reason? Well, she didn't have a will. Is that why it's in probate? Bobby Walter says, hey, Calvin, what made you sell in the Philippines? I want to come. I disagree with taking the COVID shots. I hope the country changes that law. America's really getting expensive. Well, I've been coming to the Philippines on and off, and I fell in love with the first time I was here. And I was tired of America, that lifestyle. Not really America. I love America, man. I put my life on the line. I fought for the country. I've got friends and family there, man. It's done a lot for me. But my lifestyle was killing me, Bobby. And you're right, it was getting expensive. I was on that hamster wheel running twice as fast just to maintain my same lifestyle. And somewhere along between 2009 and the time I arrived here for good in 2018, I made up my mind I was going to live here because it checked all the boxes. I'm welcome here. The people genuinely welcome you here. The low cost of living, the beautiful weather. See, all of that. I'm free over here. I've got paradise mentally and physically. I'm appreciated over here. I think the Ingram experience came over here and said, he said there's no government interfering in relationships over here. So the man is pretty, he's appreciated over here for what he does. And it was really a done deal a long time ago. I had already figured it out. I wasn't one of those guys that's trying to come over here with $3,000 per month, because even if I retired, I wasn't going to get that. I came over here at the time, I had about 1,900, but some of my, attrition as an insurance agent, people died, people changed plans. I'm down to about $1,500 US per month. And that's going to take me into my retirement at 62, because I'm taking mine at 62. But yeah, I knew then. I said, this is the place. And I figured it out how much it was going to take. It took me 4 years to do it because I brought my wife and son over there. And when the minute that 4 years was up, I was gone. And it's one of the best decisions I've ever made. Yeah, but I think his mother died, if I'm not mistaken. Texas? Anthony Williams says, what happens if you marry a Filipino and you buy lots of land together and she passes away? Would the spouse or minor children inherit the land legally? Yeah, you can. Now, that's one way you could own land in the Philippines. If you're, you know, in the wheel, if you're the first in line to get the land. But there's a prominent Filipino who follows my channel. He's very affluent. And he said that foreigners can own land over here. He says, instead of signing these sugar contracts, is what he called it. And this is what we're doing. But, you know, you could come over and get with a lawyer and just find out what your rights are, really. I'm not going to practice Philippine law without a license. But that's one thing I did look up. Oh, okay, maybe it's the other guy who said that his mother died. I can't remember. Oh, yeah, Pierre. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah. But, yeah, I would rather be... okay, he says, Bushter one says, do you think the cost of living in PH will still be low 20 years from now? Hell, anything's possible 20 years from now, but I'd say so. I've been coming over here for 13, and the cost of living is still low. You know, in comparison to America and the West, I'd say it'll still be low. But you talk to the native Filipinos over here, and they'll tell you something different. They'll tell you how, you know, inflation is, the cost of food is going up, gas is going up, and the salaries are staying the same. They'll have something else to say. Boom J said, good morning, Brother Cal, and to your family. Where's the best place to exchange your dollars upon arrival in the field? I'm going to say the bank, number one, and then I would go to Save More or one of these exchanges inside of the malls or wherever, because we were in the grocery store yesterday and they were giving 51.9 pesos to the dollar, which the Forex exchange rate is 52.4. But remember, at least do $50 to $100. I mean, you know, you may lose $5 or $10 on that exchange, but at least do that, because when you get out there, the taxi's not going to take US dollars. And if he does, you're going to overpay. Ron H says, hey, Calvin, is there any problems buying a motorcycle when I'm just a tourist? No, you can buy that. You can buy that. And remember, over here, the Philippines, another reason makes it a paradise. This is one of the easiest places to get started over here, to start over. The minute you get off the plane, within 24 hours, you can already have a place to stay, a motorcycle, girlfriend, everything. You can already start your new life within 24 hours over here. It's hard to do. There's no credit checks. There's none of that. You got the money. You got the honey, man. He says, Vernon said, Calvin, send me up to rent your guest house. Well, let me stop you right there. There's no rent to pay. And he said in February 17th to 26th, you can only stay 2 nights. This is more like a convenient, more like a favor I'm doing to my subscribers. He said, I found I need a deposit. Let me know offline. No, You don't need anything to stay a couple of days here. Or you could do it either way, Ryan. Either way you want. But if you're going to pay cash for it, why not put it in your name? But if you're only going to be here, how long are you going to be here? If you're only going to be here for 2 weeks, I'd put it in her name. I wouldn't, it's just one of those things where you don't want to invest any more than you can't walk away from. Now, your girlfriend, have you met her yet? Or she's your virtual girlfriend? Because guys, look, y'all not listening, man. She's not. It's just a fantasy until you get here. You don't know who you're chatting with online. More than likely, she's a good person, man. But you're gonna have to stop making these commitments online, man. It's crazy. You wouldn't do it at home. Why are you doing it over here? I don't get it, guys. I'm telling you that it's dangerous. I'm telling you that it's not good, but we keep doing it. Because everybody says, oh, she's different. She's a good one. She never asked me for money. Well, she's never going to ask you for money. That's just how it is. Dan Stevenson said, kill haters with your success. I think you have a slander case against Expat Forum and from that other YouTube channel. Yeah. You can't fix stupid, man. And that I'm not going to let them destroy my paradise over here. Jason Wilson, Honolulu bus system is ranked as one of the best in the world. Yeah, you're paying for that too. Leica says, hi, Sir Calvin. Long time no speak. Hope everything is going fine with you in Maryland. It is. Thank you, Leica. Thanks for stopping by. Mr. Vega says, a lot of guys just like to say they have a girlfriend or they say my Filipino, but they've never met her in person. Yeah, that can really be dangerous, guys. That can really be tricky, guys. I promise you. And what is this, guys? I thought I just answered this. Yeah, Vernon, you don't have to rent my place. You can stay here if it's available for 2 nights. There's no cost. There's no deposit. There's nothing. Now, for those other days, if you want to, I can point you in the direction of some nice hotels here, and they're fairly reasonable. But, yeah, you don't have to rent anything here. Hey, RC and Jax, thanks for that super chat. You say, yo, Cal, just sending love from the Jacksonville fam. Just completed purchase of 19 acres of farmland in Palawan. Wow. Been married to my Filipino for 20 years. Planted 5,000 calamansi trees and piggery. See, that's how to do it. If you got it like that, why not? And see, you can say that your investment is a good investment. Hell, you've already got 20 years in. See, that's when you do stuff like that, RC. Thanks for, being an example. You don't do it when you just meet the girl online, which people do. I'm sorry. There's a guy over here, he'll tell you himself he gave the woman 3 million pesos and never saw her before. But somebody like you've been married for 20 years. Why not? CNI says, men fantasize with online relationships. It's not real. The relationship is only with your phone or computer. And, yeah, you see, the truth hurts about that. But, it's okay you got to start somewhere, because really all it is, all online dating is, it's an icebreaker. But making commitments can be a deal breaker, because when you get over here, you're going to see that she's nothing like you thought she was. She may look the same, but you can't see a personality through that phone, man, or through that computer. And it's a lot of cultural differences, guys. I can say that 1,000 times, you won't listen. And something's going to crop up. And you're going to be like, holy shit, what did I get myself into? Well, it's too late because you're not going to get rid of her. Good luck. And that's a fact. So just be careful making those commitments online. Steve O. Phillips says, we'll arrive in Cebu on July 3rd, spend 2 nights in a hotel until the familiar that adopted me come and pick me up. Probably stay with them a few weeks, then visit others in Doom until I find a spot to stay in. Yeah. Now, what kind of place are they actually going to be? Are you actually going to be living in, Steve O? You do know reality over here, right? There's probably not going to be any hot and cold water. You're probably going to have that bucket, the old bucket that, makes you come face to face with last night's dinner. And it's okay to, here's the thing, Brasilero Shelton. If you're going to get online, just do it like a week before you come here. That way you're not really stressed. You already coming. You're not going to fall in love in 1 week. Yeah, now here's what it is, right? Here's the nitty-gritty right here. Speak to a girl and live with a girl are two different things. Yeah. And, she wants you over here. She's excited. You want to get over here. You're excited. But it's really not reality, guys, until you get over here. Remember? Okay, he says, so you stayed with them for 2 weeks already then? That adopted you. What are you, what kind of conditions are you dealing with? Now, I heard a lot of people coming over here to visit Ismael and Roger. As a matter of fact, Franz, I took him over there. He wanted to meet them. They become quite popular. They call that the sex channel. I couldn't get away with the content they can because, but they're Filipinos, so they deserve to be able to have content that I shouldn't be talking about. But can you imagine if I was doing some of the content they were doing? The Filipino government would get rid of me. I'm sure of that. Talking about the back door and all of that, man. Wow. I really have to disguise my stuff. W Secrets T Success Vlogs and Cal, you appear to be happy, very happy to be back home from all that vacationing over the past 4 weeks. All that fun on the beach and boat yachting. What are you going to do now for an encore? Oh, man, I'm just glad to be home. I am. And nothing like home, WT to success. That's a fact. I love it where I live, man. I've always wanted to live on a farm. It's like I'm living on a farm. Because all that traveling here, man, it wears you down. I ain't going to lie. When you talk about, okay, you can only fly into certain areas here in the Philippines. Then the rest of it's either a ferry, a fast craft, or a van, a car, or something, or a bus. And some of those trips can be pretty long and exhausting, man. Okay, JV. So, Calvin, these guys keep asking how much your room rent is so they can catch you slipping and get you in a bind because you're not allowed to earn money. Yeah, I know, but that's okay. Yeah, you got to be careful giving any legal advice. He said, what's up, Cal? And good morning to you there, and good evening from here in Albany, Georgia. Wow, the guy that I was talking to today, he's from Augusta, Georgia. Steve said, Calvin, first girl I met, her family owns mountain spot, farming corn, etc. Her and I didn't work out, but they all welcomed me. Fully made me promise to come see them. Spent 3 months in Providence. Love it. Yeah, that's what happened with my son's mother. they adopted me. I'm in the beginning, she tried to, I guess, kind of make it hard on me to go back up there, but they knew all I had done over the years, and they know her better than they know me, so I'm allowed to go up there anytime I want. I love LaChancha. You got that right about travel making someone tired, Calvin. It takes a week for me to recover from my international trips. Yeah, but I mean, just getting around the Philippines can be a logistic nightmare. Okay, we left Mactan. Now remember, Mactan is not Cebu. Mactan, especially Mactan Newtown, where we are, and I'm going to talk about that, guys. Listen, if I were you, I would stop making reservations in that Mactan Newtown. It's just, you're in the middle of nowhere. You're far away from Cebu. I mean, really, unless you're just going to stay there your whole 2 weeks and don't go anywhere else, just frequent those little resorts around Mactan, yeah, then why not? But you fly in here, man, you're going to regret it, man. You're out in the middle of nowhere. It takes you a long time just to get to that bridge. Remember, Mactan is one of the most congested cities, if not the most congested city on Cebu Island. And the traffic, and then by the time you get to Cebu, you then do whatever you want to do. Then you got to come all the way back. Well, anyway, we left about 9:30. We didn't make it to Toledo till about 12 noon. Then we had to wait an hour and then catch the ferry for another hour and a half. Man, I was wore out. Like I said, so Calvin, now you know how I feel about traveling. Everyone thinks I have a cushion job. Yeah, it wears you down. And the thing about over here, the places are so nice. Like Bantayan Island, where we were, you need more than 3 or 4 days there. I could stay there. I'm thinking about renting a place there just for a whole month. Just get like a regular house in the community and just stay in Bantayan or one of those places, Commodities. You need at least a month to recover and just to really get the most out of these small islands like that. Yeah, it's in the middle of nowhere. You got to realize that unless you live somewhere, you got your hotel right around the minute you get off that uh, bridge. Okay, then it's like you're living in Cebu because all this uh, in the middle is the bridge. But most places are, the Mactan Newtown is way beyond that bridge. It's way beyond the airport. And it's in the middle of nowhere. Or you can go that other way and be in the middle of nowhere. The point of it is Cebu City, if you're gonna fly into Mactan, get out of there as soon as you can. All the happenings is in Cebu anyway. Um, you know what I'm saying? That's where all the happenings is anyway. It's not in Lapu-Lapu. They got some nice resorts there. Blue Water Resort, White Sands Resort. They've got the only 5-star hotel on Cebu Island is, if you got that kind of money, the Shangri-La is over there. But that's like an island within itself. But you don't want, it's tiring to go back and forth from Cebu to Mactan. Dealing with that traffic and everything, it'll tire you out. I wouldn't even, I'd fly in there and I'd get out. I'd stay one day to get my feet under me. Then I'd find me a place in Cebu. That's where all the happenings is anyhow. Brother Larry Shutt said, Kelly, Cal, worry about you sometimes. Try to get legal advice from here on out, especially with dealings with your YouTube channel, brother. Just caring about you and your family. Yeah, I just don't think it's that serious, to be honest with you. I just think that the problem is y'all keep clicking on the stuff. giving these guys, and then be honest with you, misery loves company. It's a lot of miserable people out there, but there's nothing, there's no truth to any of it. I mean, if you just like to read that stuff, I mean, it's crazy. I don't know why anybody even found it interesting. They said everybody hit the damn like button. Yeah. How many likes is it? I can't see on this StreamYard. No, that's not true. Let me go back here. And it's a good thing, Oscar. He's telling the truth too. He said, "Hey, Calvin, the best location in Cebu I found was by that Yala Mall. Around that place was nice, clean, all kinds of places to eat, and sing karaoke. I was in heaven." Yeah, anywhere around Ati Park, Lahode, Barangay Lahode, anywhere near them malls, you in a prime spot. I mean, so much happening, anywhere near those malls. They got a big, gigantic Robinson Mall now. Okay, he said, someone in comments said there are no nonstop flights from the U.S. to PI. Is that true? No, it's not true. I've got a subscriber. He ran into me, and he was so shocked to see me. We were in Moncton, Newtown, and he was there. He flew from San Francisco to Manila, nonstop. And that's always been there. And then he flew from Manila to Cebu, but they gave him the runaround. He went to Butuan first, then Cebu. But yeah, he was shocked to see me. He had his itinerary, right? He was going to spend 3 days in Moncton, in Cebu. Then he's flying out today to Davao for 3 days. Then he's coming to Dumaguete for 3 days. Then he's got 2 days, I think, in San Carlos. And he said, I was hoping to see you in San Carlos when I got there. He said, what is the odds of me running into you now? He was excited, man. Will Sutton said, Calvin, should I not fly back and forth from Cebu to Manila and even over to Boracay during my 3 weeks? I stay in one place. Well, that's not a bad flight from Cebu to Manila. I think it's only like an hour. Okay. Now, Boracay is about a 40-minute flight from either of those places. So if you're going to go to Boracay, I'd stay at least a week in Boracay. And then if you come to Cebu, there's so many places in Cebu, you don't have to fly to Manila. I mean, there's so many places in Cebu you can see. It just makes your trip seem like it goes slower when you're in one place. Because the time goes quick over here. And then when you're doing all that traveling, man, it's going to wear you out. And, it's going to cost you money. I mean, it's your trip. But I would say have a few places you want to go, and then I'd get me a base. Go to Boracay for a week, and then I'd stay in Cebu or stay in Manila, either one, for the rest of my time. He said, that's where the in-laws are mocked, and I need a helicopter. Yeah, that would be a good thing. A lot of the well-to-do Filipinos in Manila, that's how they get around. The celebrities and stuff can beat all that traffic. Yeah, they get around to up in Manila and beyond that, Angeles City and all those places, Subic Bay. It seems to be pretty nice from what I've seen. But anywhere else, I mean, if you like the convenience of just getting in a car, then, you're probably going to want to buy a car, but I wouldn't drive over here. I wouldn't. Yeah, and RLV makes a great point. He says Clark International Airport is now open for those going north to avoid Manila traffic. I would fly into Clark. You skip over all of that Manila traffic, man. Okay, Dana Middleton's on here. I've given a couple of guys your email, Dana. I hope you don't mind. But yeah, let's get back to this paradise thing. Paradise is a state of mind, guys, too. It doesn't have to be all about a physical place, but in the Philippines, to me, because I'm in the Philippines, but I'm not of the Philippines, so I can say it's a paradise, even though with hell all around me, because I've acknowledged the hell, and that's what you have to do. You got to acknowledge the hell. You know, remember the song about war, the world is a ghetto. There's a ghetto everywhere you go. There's poverty wherever you go. You can ignore it if you want to, but that doesn't mean that the Philippines isn't a paradise, because it is. Just from what it offers somebody like me, somebody from the West, I consider it a paradise. You know, this weather over here is just unbelievable, man. It keeps you in good spirits. You look out my window right now, you can see the sun on my wall. Come on in. That's Booby. The low cost of living, the way I'm treated with so much kindness and respect. I mean, it's paradise to me. He said, whoever says it's a paradise is a fool. Well, what they do, Texas, they come here and they may get on a bus or in a van, or they may end up being in a condominium. They look over these squatter areas and see this poverty and they think, well, I thought he said it's a paradise, because they're focusing on the poverty as if poverty isn't anywhere. It's in Chicago, but I don't focus on that when I'm on the Magnificent Mile. I mean, you know, you're going to see what you want to see. That's really what I'm trying to tell you. If you want to focus on the poverty, then no, it's not going to be a paradise for you. But you're not going to focus on anything else either. How can you enjoy the Philippines if all you're going to do is go around looking at the squatters area? What? There's Booby wants to say hello. Wait, boo. Okay, now bye. What? Here. Yeah. She wants something to drink. Here. Now. Give that to her. He says, hey, Booby. Booby's crazy. He said, how's the weather in paradise now? Yeah, it's hot. The sun is shining bright. The clouds are fluffy, man. Look like that's one thing that you're going to see when you get over here in the Philippines, the clouds. It looks like a big cotton ball. And if you come out at night, depending on where you are, it looks like somebody's taken some glitter and just threw it up in the air. That's how clear it is over here. I haven't seen many stars where I live in a long time because all the factories and everything. I live not far from what's called Rubber Town. They got DuPont Chemicals, Reynolds Aluminum, what's the other one? Borden Chemicals. This is a whole line of chemical plants spewing out all that stuff, man. You can't see your hand in front of your face at certain times. He said, quit wearing my extra small shirts. Believe it or not, WT Success, this shirt right here, this is a 2X in the Philippines. This is the biggest I can find. Okay, Sam McCall said, got my 1 month extension, 3,020 pesos with Express Lane. Yeah, next extension will be 2 months or 6 months. Wait time, hour and a half. Yeah, that's not too bad. And yeah, you get that first extension. Now, when you extend again, be prepared to pay for that ACR card, Sam, so you don't get surprised when you get your bill. It's not going to be 3,020. It's going to be about, I forgot what it was, 8,000 and something for 2 months because they're going to add that ACR card on that. He says, always a good day when we get to see Booby. He said, what's it say on the front of my shirt? It says, when we help other people, we help ourselves. I had that done here. You can get a special shirt done in 1 day in the Philippines. Well, I am Bunta. Greetings, almost cousin and everybody. Dana, I sent you an email early last week. Can you respond when you get a chance? I'm not. Alchemist 89 said, hey, Calvin, are you familiar with Male Bale City? Is that how you pronounce that? Dana said, most people today want someone to tell them what things are. Some people are in paradise right now and don't know it. Wow. Yes, it can be a state of mind, Dana. It can be a state of mind, too, and I think that's what people don't realize. They're looking, like you said, to be told where they are. But one thing that the Philippines will do for Westerners, especially somebody comes from where I come from, is it'll make you appreciate what you got at home. Because you'll come over here and you'll see some of those things that I talked about before. You'll see the struggle. You'll see it up close. And you'll be like, when you get home, you'll kiss the ground. But it's going to change you. You'll never be the same after coming here. He said the head is shining, brother. Yeah. Merlin just shaved it today. That's why. See, you know, and now if I would have asked my American wife to shave my head, I'd have caught all kind of hell. Or she'd have done a half, she'd have been so mad and, you know, that she'd have done a half-ass job. I'd have her on this side and bald on this side. But Marilyn, she does it and takes such care. And, you know, she makes sure that it's done perfect. Hey, what's up, Chocolate Man in Thailand? He said, I'm popping in. It's 11:11 right now, guys. Anybody know what that means? But yeah, he said, just popping in. Mr. Vegas said she would have shaved your head with a frying pan. Yeah, it's crazy. I didn't like her. Do you got a Facebook channel? I mean, you got a YouTube channel? Hey, David, thanks for that super chat. Said, hey, Calvin, how's the home reconstruction project impacted by the weather at the mountain? Did they come out okay? Well, they're doing the second house right now. See, they only build those houses. They're only able to work on those houses on Sunday. I don't know if you missed that on my video. See, they work from Monday through Saturday. They got to earn a living. They all do construction. So they take 1 day out of the week to work on the house. Now, the first house is complete. The second house is under construction now. When I get back off of my immigration run, I'm going to go up there and do a video. See, now that my son is in the United States, other than these houses, I don't feel a need to go up there. But I'll be up there when I get back to give y'all an update on those houses. It's not the sister. This is my son's auntie. She's not going to veer off course like the brother did. He veered off course, you know. And I was mad at first, but then I said, well, there's no sense in me getting mad. I mean, he said he's going to put money with his and make the house bigger. I said, okay. Oh, okay, John Gomez said, Chocolate Man just hit 20,000 on his vlog. Congrats. Yeah, man, that's a lot of people, man, when you do that. Smoky Mountain Modeler says, I have my melatonin ready. You really need that on this long ass trip. But for some reason, I don't care what you give me, I can't go to sleep on those planes. Especially not after hearing about what happened to that Chinese airline where the guy intentionally flew it into the ground. See, that's evil, man, right there. Because we put all our trust. That would stop people from getting on a plane, by the way. We put all our trust into these pilots, and we don't know them. We don't know their background. We don't know what they're going through. This guy was going through some problems, man. He flew the damn plane intentionally into the ground. They said it was going so fast that it created a 66-foot crater in the earth. And I guess the only good thing that came out of that, they said the people probably don't know what hit them, but I think for a few seconds they were in panic mode until they blacked out. I'm almost certain of that. I'm almost certain the human mind, being always on lookout mode, detected something. Hey, Will Sutton, thanks for the super chat. He said, Calvin, are you having another meet and greet at the end of next month? Yeah, so I'm there. I am, because I'm going to I got to do my son's, get his passport renewed, and then I'm going to get on out of here and come on back, because Merlin showed me this article last night about this whole Omicron variant. I thought the damn pandemic was over. Hey, Sir Geechee Lion, what's going on? He said, good day, everyone. I've had a hell of a week. Yeah, just be grateful you're still alive, man. Because I'm pretty sure, there was someone more deserving that didn't make it, especially in my case. He said the plane incident was a complete copycat issue. Some loser in the West did the same thing. Oh, my God. See, it didn't used to faze me to get on a plane until 2015. Then all of a sudden, I couldn't get on a plane. I had to be almost forced to get on a plane to go from Louisville to Atlanta, then from Atlanta to LA. I had some training work to do. I mean, I was really terrified. I'm like, what's going on with me? I mean, it never happened to me. I would get on a plane. I had flew to the Philippines so much. I'd flown to the Philippines, brother, so much that in like an 11-month period, I was a silver medallion member of the Sky Miles at Delta. I got bumped up to first class a couple of times. But I mean, it was terrifying in my mind. I couldn't sleep for about a week before the flight. And, on the way back, instead of flying, when they came to get me at the hotel, I didn't open the door. I stayed in my bed. I ended up booking a damn Amtrak ticket, man. It took me 3 days to get back home. My wife was like, where in the world you been? And she couldn't understand it. See, that's the thing. Those are some of the cultural differences. When you tell somebody, hey, I got anxiety, they're like, what the fuck is anxiety? It means something different over here than it does over there. They're looking at you like you're Superman, like, oh, it ain't nothing, work through that. Because they don't really understand it. And when you try to explain it to them, they think it's some kind of excuse. Leica says, I do, Calvin. I removed comments because a clown posted in the comments, Leica, thank you for tickets. Hope you enjoyed white stuff. Then screenshot it and email it to my work. So I can't leave comments because of clowns. Yeah. Well, as long as they're just leaving comments. I mean, can you imagine? They stalk me. They make whole 10-minute videos about me. Well, it's not about me. It's illusion. Dana says, Calvin, the pandemic is not over. Caution should still be exercised. Yeah. Now, over here, you got to understand, I don't know if you've been paying attention to the news over here, but there was a big election May the 10th. And prior to that, man, they were having these big, gigantic rallies and stuff. And I'm thinking, something's going to come out of that. If there's anything left, any just fraction of the pandemic and virus, it's going to spike. And that's what's happened. Yeah, David. He says, always follow your instinct. They protect you, Calvin. I did. So instead of a 7-hour trip, it ended up being a 3-hour trip, but 3-day trip. But it's one of the funnest trips I've ever had. I didn't realize how comfortable those Amtraks are, number one. Just a regular seat. And then just going from seeing America from Los Angeles, California, all the way cross country to Chicago. I rode on the Sky Chief. That was the name of it. I just don't know where it came from, but I think what really happened to me, here comes Maryland, was, the 2004 incident. I think it spiked off something, man, because I really wasn't the same after that. But I used to get on a plane like it was nothing to me, especially in the military. I mean, it was nothing to get on a plane, man. Can you imagine? I flew from Chicago to San Diego. I was like, ain't no big deal. That's when they used to serve meals on domestic flights. I had the first time I ever had a Reuben sandwich. Oh, it was so delicious. It was, and it's been my favorite ever since. It was American Airlines. John says North Korea is having an outbreak situation right now. Well, hell, how could that be when they can't even come outside over there in North Korea, John? Yeah, that said the same thing, Texas. But yeah, guys, think twice about renting in Moncton, Newtown. Now, maybe Lapu, somewhere close to that bridge. But if I were you, if you want to be close to Moncton, I would just rent somewhere in Mandawi City, which is around that. It's on the other side of the bridge in Cebu, but I wouldn't go over there. And the first time I went there, I knew, I was like, that's where I stayed, but it wasn't built up like it was now. It was really just like I don't know what you would call it, but it was out in the middle of nowhere. And I just stayed on the resort the whole time. But now when you got all that traffic and everything's over in Cebu, all the big malls and everything, they got Desano malls over there, but it's nothing like Ayala, nothing like SM and Robinson. And you got to do all of that just to get to Cebu. Then you run yourself ragged over there. Then you got to come all the way back. I wouldn't do it. No, that's not true. You're looking at them videos, man. He says, Cal heard of Philippine girls claim touching, rape. Police will arrest us. Jail, no evidence. You ever heard of this thing? No, I've never heard of that. But I did hear of a guy being falsely accused of rape over here. This is a long time ago. You can look it up. He spent 5 years in jail. A woman, what happened was he scolded her son. It was a neighbor. And the neighbor came back and said he raped her. But it's not because of this so-called new law. It's not a new law. It's nothing that a decent human being has to worry about. You come over and mind your own business, and people aren't going to bother you. You don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. Filipinos aren't like that, man. They don't do that kind of stuff. They're not that petty like that. Can it happen? Anything can happen. But for you to be afraid of that, and these guys, I don't think these guys are, that are putting out this kind of stuff. I don't even think they're in the Philippines right now. I can't have any respect for somebody vlogging about the Philippines if you're not in the Philippines. When I go to Guam and the videos I do, they're not going to be on the Philippines. They're going to be on Guam. They're going to be wherever I am. You know, I just don't have no respect for people like that. How can you tell me what's going on over here? You're not even here. But yeah, you don't have that to worry about. Sea Breeze. He says, hey, Calvin, it seems like the sun is very hot over there at your bake. At certain times of the day, it is. That's why you get this air unit like this. But then somewhere around 5:30, I promise you, Sea Breeze, this. In the Philippines, I don't care where you are, it's going to be perfect weather. From 5:30 all the way to the morning until about 6 o'clock. The weather's going to be perfect. But from 7 to 5, it's just like the sun is working. It's on its job. From 7 to 5, it's kicking your ass. And I don't care if you blue, black, bright, white, whatever your color is, it doesn't discriminate. It's going to cook your ass. So I would stay in. What's my internet speed? Is 50 Mbps. Am I slowing up, Dana? Let me know. I've got about 5 more minutes, guys. I got to get off here because I got to do the spin wheel. I went to sleep last night. Well, really, I don't have anything against anybody, A. Patterson. You know, that's not part of my paradise. I really could care less about what people do over here. I don't try to police other people. I'm in the Philippines having a great time, and I want other people to come over here and have a great time. And if you do something illegal, the Philippine authorities are very capable of handling it. I mean, I don't know, you know, having children is stressful because you watch them all the time. I'm not going to be sitting around watching grown-ass men. I don't care what you look like. Believe it or not. I'm certainly not going to. I don't know anything about the law over here, the laws, the jails, or anything. So I'm certainly not going to turn my fellow man over to the authorities over here. I mean, for what reason would I have, unless you came to my house with a gun or a knife threatening me or something? What reason would I have to do that? He said, what do I think of Mike? I don't think about him at all. I really don't. I don't know if he's good or bad. These guys are strangers to me, guys. I promise you. And, they look a whole lot different. You see how guys are coming over here. I've got a community. I want you people to see that when I put pictures on my community page, and you see people in my videos, I want you to know that I'm a real human being. See, you don't never see those type of guys like that with anybody around them. You only see these old backgrounds that, they could be anywhere. I don't know if they're real or not. Oh my God. Hey, Alan E. says, knowing what you know, would you come over to the fields if you are 70 years old and good health? Absolutely. We got a friend over there. He's 87. He's having the time of his life. I'm so happy for him. Because you know what he'd be doing in America. He'd be at home. He told you. He's doing things now. He's got a sexy young woman, and she's 30-something. And she was really interested in him because he's a great individual. She saw the potential. And even if she didn't, she's playing her role to perfection. And it's going to pay out for her, man. I got big time respect for this lady. Because, he tried to meet other people before and they were acting cringy, man. But this woman is different. She's showing him real interest. And from what he says, they getting it on, man. 87. Well, yeah, he's 87. You see him dancing and doing everything that we do. I mean, I'm as happy as for him as I've ever been for anybody, because I know what America wants to do, the West wants to do. They want him to sit his ass down somewhere. And yeah, and his family was trying to discourage him from coming over here, you know. But yet the man's been all around the world, but only when he decides to come to the Philippines do they want to give him some trouble. To be honest with you. So if y'all think I'm playing about when you come over here, they're gonna get you, they're gonna attack you. Oh, you weird, you're a expat. You trying to take advantage of women, blah blah this and blah blah that. But tell them you going to France. Tell them you going to Paris. And see the send off you get. Tell them you going to London, or tell them you going to Las Vegas or something like that. Absolutely not. He said with the rainy season coming. We don't get a lot of rain here at W Secrets to Success Live. The Philippines is spread out, man. It's vast. All the weather patterns aren't the same. You get a lot of rain up in that Luzon area. You'll see a lot of stuff on the news down in certain areas of northern Mindanao. But over here where we are, it'll rain. And we got more rain a couple of, last month than we've ever received during rainy season. But now I won't be buying a truck. We're going to give Merlin's brother her motorcycle, which is only a year old, for his work. He's agreed to do that for his work on this house instead of taking cash, which wouldn't have come anywhere near the cost of that motorcycle. But we're trying to help him. She's going to get another motorcycle. She's looking now to find out what kind she wants. Something that can carry me. And I don't ride it often. I take the tricycle. Yeah, I'm getting ready to get off here too, guys. I got 1 minute. I want to thank everybody for your super chat, super stickers. Let's get the thumbs up, guys. Do we got 200 yet? It helps me. All your support for Sunshine Shoulders, man. This is going to be it for the tiny house will be done by Sunday. All I have to do is furnish it. It just depends on how long it takes for them to put those windows in. It's not going to take long. They came over the other day while we were out of town. They measured the windows. We came back, paid them the money. They'll be here in the morning to put them in. Then all we have to do is they're going to finish the towel in the bathroom, finish the towel on the countertop, and then furnish it. That's it. Then I'm going to get a plaque put on the outside by the door because I'm naming it after Sydney's ex-wife. Sydney's late wife. Sorry, Sydney. And my mother. Two women that helped a lot of people during their lifetime. Hey, thanks, Roy McLeod. Yeah, thank y'all too, man. Oliver Freeman said, I appreciate your channel, Cal. You provide a wealth of knowledge, and I use your insight to make my stay there this past March through April 22nd. I will be back soon, and I personally will. Bless. Hey, thanks, man. Come and see me, man, because y'all not gonna have an excuse now. I want everybody to come and sign this wall. Even if you don't stay all night, you're gonna sign that wall. Where did Leica say? I want to see this real quick. Oh yeah, okay. And up before I go. Now, this is Leica. Now remember, she's a flight attendant. She's in and out of Moncton, I'm pretty sure. Calvin's 100% right. Newtown, stay away from that place. Will be too crowded. Every weekend now is filled with TikTok video champs. Yeah, it's crowded anyway. Moncton is one of the most congested places in Cebu Island. But take care, everybody. I'm going to spin this wheel at 12. I went to sleep last night. We got 2 winners, and I've got to go to the grocery store, buy the food, and come back. Take care. Stay safe. Stay COVID-free. Watch the video on the tiny house. Give me some ideas if you got any. Wait, I'm not going to get out of here without playing my theme song. I'm sorry. I got to play it, but I don't understand why let me see something. My Bluetooth wasn't connected. I don't know what happened to it. Well, I guess I'm going to have to just play it by ear, everybody.
It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground.